just so you guys know, I've been trying to get my mic to work for the past, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, right? And it just could not work. It was like blinking and shit, and then it just started to work after I started to pray on it. So I do believe that there is a God, and I do believe that He is watching us with every single move, and I do believe that our prayers will be answered. But off the topic, Conor McGregor, right? What a fucking disappointment of a match. There are very few matches in the UFC wherein I'm like very, very hyped with it. You know, matches like the Ilya Topuria versus Justin Gaethje fight. That build up for that one was really good. The John Jones return versus Cyril Gane, I was really hyped for that. Not the John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Not really. I wasn't really hyped for that. Conor McGregor was one of the very few fights I was very, very hyped and very, very excited to watch him fight. And it was a very big disappointment because if you watch the fight, it was 2 fucking minutes long. I have a lot of sympathy for the guys that paid tickets to see Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway, and then what they end up getting is 2 minutes of Conor McGregor jumping and limping after the fight. Because Conor McGregor, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, starts off the fight with jumping scissor kicks, and then continues to do that even after he was hurt because he was doing the jumping spinning kicks. I mean, does the guy know he is not the Conor McGregor that was hungry anymore? He's not as flexible as he is now. Does the guy even know that? Now, there are some talks that he did this just so he could get an easy payday, that he just threw his fight, that he bet 300K on Max Holloway, and he just threw the fight basically. I'm not that type of person. I think, or maybe it's just my naivety, that maybe he doesn't need that much money, right? Maybe he just came to fight because he wanted to fight. Maybe he's not really struggling well off, and maybe he doesn't need that money, and what's happening is actually just unfortunate. Very unfortunate, right? Because what he wanted, I think, was, maybe I'm thinking on the positive here. What he wanted was to give the fans a show, show the fans how fluid he still is even after 5 years of doing nothing, not really doing any combat sports and just being on the business side, right? Maybe that's what he was thinking, and it just is not it. Now, in saying that he probably didn't throw the fight, what the fuck was he thinking, honestly? He's like 40 years old doing kicks like that. And yeah, maybe. Maybe he could do these kicks in practice, right? In the backstage. Maybe it was just unfortunate. But you would think that after 2 leg injuries, because the first leg injury he had was also against Max Holloway. When he was grappling with Max Holloway, he screamed, and then he couldn't really fight for after a year. And then his second leg injury was with Dustin Poirier. We all know that, the third Dustin Poirier fight, wherein his knee just fucking buckled, man. It just gave out with time and age. And it just does that, to be honest. A big part of why I think his knee gave out is because of the type of training that he did when he was fighting to box Floyd Mayweather, when he was training to box Floyd Mayweather, right? Because he wasn't really doing any kicks. And then after the Floyd Mayweather fight, after the Khabib fight, you'll see that his stance was more of a boxing stance, which means he probably didn't train like he did in the past when he was hungry. If you see all of his trainings, right, he was always moving, he was always fluid. And I think he just didn't train like that. And he paid the price, to be honest. Conor McGregor also pulled up a tweet saying that, oh, his knee just got fucked and that he's going through hell right now. You know, it was a big fight for him. Everybody thought that he was actually going to get this done. He's become a Christian. He's sober. He's not doing any of the bad habits that he was previously doing. He's even giving advice to Dustin Poirier for, what he's done. But but even if, right? Even if he's doing all of these right things, if your body can't do it, your body just cannot do it. It's just that simple, to be honest. Conor has one more fight left in his contract. Who do you think he should fight next? I don't know. Maybe Chandler. Maybe Chandler is going to be the next fight that the UFC should make. Because they're both on a fucking losing streak. They both are the same in the sense that they have a lot of hype. They both have very entertaining fight styles, but both of them have lost like a ton. Both of them have lost a lot, right? But you don't really come to a Chandler fight to see him win. You come to a Chandler fight to see him, you know, entertain. And so yeah, that's what I think is going to happen in the next in his next fight. I think he's going to be fighting Michael Chandler. And so yeah, it's a disappointment, to be honest.